Stella couldn't have come at a more appropriate time than the way she's done, because it's just drifting there. That's where my heart is, because what we've gone through this week, and allow me a minute to just put this across, is that the Linda Mwananchi battle and the fallout that is purported within the Linda Mwananchi affiliation, which is where I belong to, has been that the young people of this country have a message they've put across. They've said they want a fresh start because they believe what you're having and we're being forced to be, people are trying to serve us on the table, is something we've had so many times before. And it's not just the Gen Z. Gen Z's millennial and progressive Kenyans who love this country and want to see the country move forward have an idea that we can only move forward if at all we change the process of how we arrive at our leaders. And that's why the struggle that has been within the Linda Mwananchi, because the original dream that had picked up naturally.
Yep.
Nobody sat and said we are going to build something called Linda. There was an agitation by the young MPs last year over young MPs led by Caleb Amisi and Sifuna, and they were trying to prop up something called Kenya Moja, you remember? And they were trying to say we need a new generation of leaders. They didn't have a party, an office and things like that. It was not formal. And then when it picked up, then the activities of unfortunate death of Baba and then the fallout within ODM created the kind of mileage they needed to become a solid brand on a political platform. Then all of a sudden, when they realized that the Kenyans have accepted them, other people infiltrated the system, you understand? And they started coming in with their own personal interest to a level where that we had to fall back and say, let's, in my journey of within the advertising field, is that one time when we were trying to bid for a business, a long time ago, about around 2010 there, maybe 15 years ago, at the then old Safaricom house there. And then we were trying to pitch this big reality TV show out of what used to have Big Brother and Project Fame, and said maybe you can have a music reality show, but which with the guest hosted in an environment like a Big Brother. Then we came up with a budget. We went to Safaricom, and then we gave this big show. We were not successful. And then later on, one of the ladies that was part of the team came to us and told us, Ngaira, in big companies like this ones, Dennis, there are people who are paid exclusively not to be carried away with the side shows that you give on the table. They want to see if you're proposing a reality show that's going to have 15 episodes, the scale of production, the technical skills, Dennis, that is behind you must be able to back up the good ideas you're putting on the table. So their job is not to be carried away with the things you're telling us. It's not how you've dressed, whether you're good looking or what. They want to know where is the money, the alternative money that's going to back up the show. And I learned from them that whenever we have got all these good proposals like what we're doing with Linda, we must be sure there's amongst ourselves, there has to be a bunch of us who can sit back and begin to see, are we still heading towards the right direction? If you're not, then you're able to raise the issues that are in there.
Is it headed in the right direction?
We are heading in the right direction, but our Linda Mwananchi group has been infiltrated by characters that do not buy the vision that we have. I've said it many times. You saw what happened when my brother, Honorable Caleb Amisi, who's also my party leader, said that how can you go to a Sifuna stage and then be able to prop another candidate who, even within the opposition ticket, is a competitor? You understand? We agree that it's much wiser to have a one united ticket to face the president, but you see, all the players within that opposition space are also competing, isn't it? And so when you raise that, immediately the day that followed, you saw the barrage that was there on social media and on Twitter, and they say these are NIS, these are things like that, because there are characters within that platform who do not belong to Linda Mwananchi. They belong to some other parties. They already have presidential candidates wherever they're coming from, but they come on Sundays to fill the Linda stage, but then midweek they're somewhere else plugging their presidents and vice presidents over there. Then they expect us to be able to do that. You've hosted Karoli Omondi, Andrew. Karoli Omondi is the spokesperson of Linda Mwananchi. Mm-hmm. He sits in the middle of the activities of Linda Mwananchi. But also Karoli Omondi happens to be the Secretary General of Azimio. Azimio is a different political faction. It has a chairman, Uhuru Kenyatta, and a current leader who is Kalonzo Musyoka after the demise of Raila Odinga. Both Kalonzo Musyoka and Edwin Sifuna are leading two different political factions and are planning to compete for that opposition ticket. When you're in the middle of the two factions, it clearly tells you that somebody is playing dual roles, isn't it? And that's one. That's two. When you're leading a political outfit that is pushing for generation change, you do not want to, again, align it to the old folks, not to say they're bad, but you don't want to align it to the old folks who are selling the old agenda.
Yeah.